started.
He's ready to roll.
I know.
You're like, nope,
I thought about starting.
nope, not yet.
There we go, we're good.
Okay, hello everybody, thank you for coming, Village of Waterville regular council meeting, April 30th, 2024, at 6:05 p.m. Roll call, Jessica Cooper.
Schultz absent. Schober.
Here.
Stanfield. Here. Walter.
Here.
Hitchcock.
Here, do we have a quorum?
Yes.
Yes, we did, so please, face the pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Seated. We have approval agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Okay, second by Deborah Walter. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Both same sign. Okay, we're good. Is there any public comment other than what we have on our list? Anybody have anything they want to run by us?
Am I supposed to know what?
You can,
He's on
yeah,
for the agenda.
you're on the agenda, but you won't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me sneak in here. My name's Tom James Gottschalk. I'm the owner of James Edward Builders and with the estates over up the street on Black Oak. And I was here, I appreciate you guys' willingness to lower the lot improvements for me last time. I was told at that time that via the group here, and Brad, come back in if you want to talk about another one. You know, Jim knows our team by now, and Jim Wright and Ryan got to meet our group, and we are cooperating. I've got unit 21. I want to start another house there. It's across the street almost from the one I'm building on unit 11. I count them units, I don't know, lot numbers. So I just came here to see if you guys, if we're gonna try one at a time for now. I still think it's fair, doing my homework from before with the group a few years ago, as well as where we're at with tax stuff. It's still there. You know, trying my best to keep, and I got more affordable homes in plans, but I'm not gonna build junk there. I don't think your township wants junk either, so that's my ask, to see if you'll do another one to lower the lot improvements. I believe we went to 7,500 last time, so I was hoping to do the same on lot 21. And we got the one in there and it's backfilled, and we're gonna start framing actually next week. Got some lumber we're gonna get there, and I've got very fast people, so I'm gonna have it up pretty quick.
Good.
That's it.
What are you doing with the leftover sand? You got enough that's, you're using?
You know, if you need some, Brad,
If you didn't need any sand that was on your sites, I'm just down the road.
I know,
can take it.
absolutely. You mentioned that to me a few years ago.
I did. but
I
you
remember
were
now.
able to lift that up.
I'm that busy.
Right, right.
No, I would love to, no, what I mean is I can get you some. How much do you want?
Whatever you need, I got a truck lot out back. I would take some sand if you got it where you wanted to get rid of it real quick.
Yep.
I have room for it.
Well, in the future, the easier way too is if you get a truck over there, throw it right in your truck,
Gotcha.
right? Be the smartest for us in the next one.
Yep.
That one, we use some of it. I got a home I'm building. If you guys go up M52, I got a big one on 10 acres
Okay,
right there. We hauled some there, so
there you go. All right, well, we'll get going on this. Sounds good.
that's it.
Appreciate it. All right.
Sit down.
Anybody else? Oh, yep, you're good. Okay, any other public comment? Nothing? Thanks for coming, Brian Norton. So, public comment, we're gonna go to the consent agenda. Anybody to,
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Second.
second by Lana? Any questions? None? Roll call.
Schober. Yes. Stanfield.
Yes.
Walter. Yes. Hitchcock.
Yes. Thank you. And now we got the attorney reports. We got from Scott Gould. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Girl. She is so cute.
Yeah.
What was her name again?
Valerie?
Valerie. Oh, she's such a beautiful. Isn't that something?
Yeah?
She's got, yeah, she'll be another one wrapped from Daddy's
Oh,
around the
man. Yeah, so she was born at 3 a.m. on Monday, and everything went well, and we were out of the hospital by noon on Tuesday. So,
Isn't that something?
yeah, I don't we'll keep it up long if possible, that's for sure, so we're on our way.
Good, okay.
All right, civil rights complaint, on the Steiner matter, the FOIA. It sounds like it's been reassigned to another agent by the name of Rochelle Arns. They told me just to stay, in the waiting position. They didn't tell me as soon as they had something to report to me. White Rose, we had our appeal last week, Wednesday. I believe the judge was studied on the matter. She seemed to know exactly what the issues were, especially the issues claimed to be claimed in the appeal. She will provide a written opinion within 30 days of that. So whatever last Wednesday's date was, the 23rd, so probably about the 20th of May, we should expect something. I'm within just a final draft of the MML memo to pursue the claim of damages that resulted from the embezzlement that Loverville experienced a couple years ago. I think we have case law on our side. The game plan again is to submit the memo to the MML, tell them why we think we're entitled to the monies owed. So roughly about $45,000 they still owe us. I believe they owe us. And I hope to get that out this week. I just called into Eagle just to verify with Ms. Matthews that there's nothing else needed from me. I did that in part not to sidestep Mr. Jones, but just for the fact that Matthews had reached out to me at one time. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I'm sure Mr. Jones is handling it just fine. I just want to make sure there's no loose ends on my part. So that's all I have at the moment for Loverville and the report.
Do we have anything from the Detroit that we sent in there, 911 down to Detroit for the lady that was in the Calgary Creek apartments?
Oh, that's the one that got reassigned.
Reassigned, all
Yeah.
right, so that was reassigned.
Reassigned, and it looks like they gave me this agent, Rochelle Arnston, and it's a 616 number, which leads me to believe that
Grand Rapids.
it's moved to Grand Rapids now, so.
So why would he even, wow. And so Eagle couldn't give us any more information on what we got going on there. So, of course, Ryan Jones is doing everything. The Village of Waterville is up to standard as far as I know, so. And then you got White Rose and Jamie Hord's program with the MML, and we don't have anything else burning on the candle, right?
No, you can knock a few of these things out, like White Rose in about 20 days, and hopefully the civil rights matter, and maybe Eagle will start getting a little quieter around here.
What is,
So, go ahead.
excuse me, what is the judge doing with Jenny Horn? Has she paid anything?
I have not called since the last meeting. The last meeting, the felony probation told me that she has not paid anything to date, that they are getting ready to do a show cause, or effectively, they file a motion and submit it to the courts and say, look, this person committed these crimes, they have not paid for the restitution, and put it in front of the judge because Jamie's still susceptible to jail time. If she doesn't comply with the terms of probation, they can lock her up.
Well, she hasn't, from what we're saying.
As far as we know, there hasn't been any payment. So I informed the probation department that as soon as the show cause motion goes into the court, to notify me. And that way, if at all possible, whether I submit a letter on behalf of the village or attend the hearing in person, I want the judge to know that we're still engaged, that we're still expecting something to happen from this, so.
Okay. And then, I know, one of the things that we can bring up later on in this, but your recommendation with this, with Shane Backdorf, that we have going on with Eagle, which we'd like to get that resolved as soon as possible, to get some type of information to go forward, because we got summer coming, we're gonna need some summer help for the Village of Waterville. And your recommendation for the town of Waterville not to hire or do anything at this time until we can get this resolved with Eagle, and though hopefully we can tell them to tighten that up a little bit so we can go on with ourselves, or?
Yeah, that was that was in large part, that was part of the reason I called Ms. Matthews, is one, to make sure there's no loose ends on my part, but hopefully in that conversation, she can definitively tell me where they're at in the process, because it is still fluid at the moment. We don't know. I don't have the information I need to render a final opinion for the village to move forward on the HR issue.
I agree. This is what I'm growing pains, and we'll just try to get resolved. They know that we're anxiously wanting to get that resolved. I mean, how do you go through all that? And we jump, Ryan Jones jumped through hoops, we jumped through hoops, so, question.
I guess I'm confused as to what the village is looking for. The violations are not going away. We're guilty as charged, the village is. Right now, we're waiting on.
Wait. What you just said, the village warehouse has not been charged.
No, figuratively speaking, those violations are gonna stick with the Village of Weberville for the lifetime of the Village of Weberville.
Is that correct? Do you think?
I can go through Eagle's website and show previous violations, previous notices that this community has received. Since we are the owner of those lagoons, the violations come to us. What we are waiting for is punishment phase now. Are we gonna get punished as a municipality, which is we're facing fines? Or is punishment gonna stick with the operator in charge at the time of violations?
Well, right there, that's what we don't know, because if they check,
So-
correct me if I'm wrong, if they go after the guy with the license, that's a little bit different than the village as a whole.
It is and it isn't.
So the
Somebody's
whole
getting-
thing is, what I'm trying to tell you, with our lawyer here all the time, and you, Ryan Jones, helping us get through what we went through, to go to the next phase, I can't believe the Eagle, we jumped through hoops, make sure we took care of what we had to do. We bought the door from Canada, we got everything, we got a second safety device. So what I'm saying is, we need resolution of resolvement, so we can go forward to have the guys either have an extra agreement. We would like this not to drag out any further, so with a letter from Scott Gould saying the Eagle, but I mean, the reflection of this triangle right here, we gotta go forward after we would know what's going on. And I know the frustration that we're in.
And the violations are gonna stick with us for the lifetime of the Village of Weberville. That's what I'm trying to say. Punishment wise, we don't know yet.
Okay.
Okay, are we going to be monetarily punished? Or are we just gonna be, hey, you guys did a great job getting back into compliance? But at the end of the day, we as a village are still guilty of the violations in the eyes of people.
I read it, I didn't see that, did you, Scott?
I didn't see that.
Why don't you,
I'm
instead of
looking
us
at
beating
other
this up,
cases.
you go ahead and follow up on it, okay? We gotta
So,
nip
but-
that in the butt if you can with your warrant or anything, but we gotta jump on that so we can go forward. That way Brian Jones and I can go forward on our next program. Accept it. Because I've been getting calls from THI for a couple other people trying to figure out which way we're going. Like, we're trying to get everything in compliance and go forward, so. Okay?
That's correct, yes, and, granted, I understand what you're saying, Mr. Jones, that this is something that would be on the record with Weberville, I don't doubt that. Where the liability falls as to whether there's an individual actor or a policy issue, that's what's to be determined. So I mean, that's where I just can't make an opinion until Eagle tells me, so.
And I want a letter from the village to proceed to Eagle, like we need to have some more immediate action. We're not gonna sit here and wait, we'd like to try to get some technical information. This is the lawyer, Village of Morville, what are we doing? We'd like to know, we fixed everything we want to know.
Yep.
I have a question.
Yeah,
So I've heard what everybody has said. Is there a problem with bringing somebody in right now though to help? Because we obviously have other things that we need to get going. They have a lot of work going on. Is there a problem with bringing somebody in and just saying, we're bringing you in right now to help out? Is that a problem?
well, I mean, I guess it depends on the status of, if it's just a part-time helper under the part-time rules of the village, that's one thing. If you're promising full-time to someone, that's another thing. For your ordinance and policies, I mean.
Yeah, we don't have much of a use for a seasonal summertime helper. Yeah, because coming up here in new business, and you're gonna see why, because we're facing a whole slew of other issues on the drinking water side.
And that's, I knew that
Yep.
was coming up.
A seasonal worker is gonna do nothing for this.
So we'll try to get a letter to Eagle to try to get that resolved, because to go forward to get a listing going for, to get out there for, hire another person to help us with the DPW, my recommendation, got it resolved, and we get a letter from Scott Pearl saying this is very sensitive, so we get more out, so we can go on the listing and get people to help us.
I agree,
Because I don't want to go in the trial and go backwards. I don't want to. I want to finish the one phase that's messed up before we get to the next phase. Do you think that'd be even possible, Scott? Like,
Yeah, and
I mean, the last time I talked to Lori, she made a comment that she said within a week, but I think that was 10 days ago.
yeah, I think so, and without a doubt, probably Ms. Matthews' mindset is, what are her concerns with the village and their water treatment process? And now that that matter has been resolved, I'm sure she's now worrying about our HR problems, you know?
Right.
So it's just a matter of getting back in front of her, and if she provides me some correspondence, or even if it's a verbal communication that can help me render an opinion to the village, if she were to give it to me tomorrow, I mean, she's always been good about calling me back. She didn't call me back today, but I called her late in the day anyway, but I'm hoping that we can resolve this very quick, so.
Okay. All right. So let's go on to engineering reports. How are you doing, sir?
Good. You'll see in your packet a letter that I addressed to Sam Schulte. We talked several weeks ago about a citizen complaint about the condition of Gramer Road. And I was asked to take a look at options for repairing that road. It's in pretty tough shape. I think everybody realizes it's driven down there. I've provided a couple of pictures of some of the worst areas. And so what I did was I looked at 3 different options, just to give the village, you know, sort of a range of different solutions and what they might cost. And the first option was essentially pulverizing the pavement from Grand River all the way down to the railroad tracks, which is about 2,200 feet, I think, and then repaving the whole thing with 5 inches of asphalt. And that option costed out to be about $254,000. The second option that we kind of talked about a little bit here at a past meeting was just pulverizing the pavement in place, compacting it, and then doing a chip seal on it. And that option came in at the least expensive of $109,000. And then option 3 was, in looking at the road network, the Epley Court is about 500 feet south of Grand River, and there are no homes south of Epley Court that front on Gramer Road. So the third option was, you know, do something a little bit nicer for the first 500 feet and do a pulverize and repave that, and then the rest of it do the pulverize in place with the chip seal as kind of a hybrid option, and that came in, you know, our estimates are about $148,000 on that. And then the other thing was, the pavement seems to be about 19 feet wide out there and really not much of a shoulder. And so I looked at, you know, if we wanted to bring that up to more of a Ingham County kind of rural standard of 22 feet wide with 3-foot shoulders, then the extra expense is kind of as I'm given there, which is about, seems like it's about, you know, 50 or so thousand more, a little bit more in option 1. So those are kind of the options that I see, and this is just based on, you know, a rough cost estimates, not based on any, you know, design plans or anything, and there is a 20% contingency included in those numbers.
Okay. Any questions from the council?
Okay, and And the second item, I wanted to give an update on the business park paving, where we're at on that. We are still waiting for MDOT to give us approval to contract with the low bidder. I've given him some additional information over the last couple of weeks. I've not heard back from him. I just followed up with him this afternoon on, when we can expect to receive that approval from them to move forward, and then we can move into, signing a contract with Ruth Riley to get that done. And they've expressed to me, that they were kind of looking at this as kind of one of their first projects, which I think, was something that you guys had indicated you hope to get that done sooner than later this year. And so I'll keep following up with MDOT to see if I can get them to budge on it.
Okay.
And then the third thing is, we've got some money slated for the north part of Main Street in 2025. So I'm starting to think about, okay, what do we need to do to get our ducks in a row for that? Because ideally, we would be bidding that in February of 25. So I just made a call to the Tri-County Planning Commission, that is the Metropolitan Planning Organization for this area, just to kind of touch base with them, confirm that we're still on their list, which we are. The amount's gone up from $375,000 to $385,000, so it's gone up about $10,000. But then he provided me a contact at MDOT to follow up with, who I'm gonna, in the process of talking to make sure that we're meeting whatever milestone dates we need to meet with respect to their approvals and plan reviews and those kinds of things. But one of the things that I found out in talking to the Tri-County Planning Commission representative was that every 10 years they redraw what they call the federal aid boundaries, and those are applicable to the different grants that are available for different classifications of communities. And the last time this was done was 2010, 2012 timeframe. And at that time, Weberville, the three classifications are urban area, small urban area, and then rural area. And each one of those classifications has a different sort of funding mechanism to it. And in 2010, Weberville and Williamston were neither large enough to be considered a small urban community. So what they did was there were some rules that permitted them to add the two together into one community. And then, as you know, Weberville and Williamston kind of share the funds, for that in alternating years, which is why we got funded for half of Main Street in 23, and now we're gonna get funded for the other half in 25. Well, they're in the process of redrawing those federal aid boundaries, and the rules that they use have changed now. And so the rule that allowed those two communities to be combined is no longer valid. And so going forward, Weberville is going to be considered a rural community, which puts it into a different class of, federal aid projects. And in the small urban, it was almost guaranteed that Weberville and Williamston would alternate and each get $375,000 a year. In the rural program, what I've been told is it's more competitive. You aren't guaranteed to get any, amounts of money, and their planning process for the next 4 years is being kicked off right now. And so I'm trying to get kind of boned up on what needs to be done to get into that process. But essentially the first part of that process is for, Weberville to pick out some projects that they think that they want to have funded, so that we can then begin that process of hopefully having one of those projects selected in the next 4 years. So I don't know specifically what's been thought of beyond Main Street for what a future project might be. I mean, we have obviously the Gramer Road that we just talked about. The other one that I know of is, there's been talk of connecting the business park past the water tower to get that road connected through there. That's probably about a $1 million project. So we need to be thinking about those things, and I'll get tuned in. And there's a meeting in July, is kind of the kickoff for Ingham County. Apparently, the county, people in the county get together, the rural communities, and then there's a tri-county meeting, and that results in the projects that are selected. So I don't know if anybody has any opinion on, what projects you might want to consider for putting up for that or not, but.
For the $1 million project you just mentioned?
Yeah, if there's that project, or if there's something else,
There's,
you guys
nailed it, the Gramer Road north or south of Grand River. And then you got
Waterville Road.
the Weberville Road.
What about Party Road? The east end of Party Road.
Where do you guys pull out? That needs to be passed this year with one-way paving, or whoever.
I've taken a few calls on Party Road.
Yep.
Condition of it.
So what we need to do there with the council and us is we need to get 3 quotes. I doubt they're around 10,000, but we need to go around town again, get a few more of these patched up down where Sam is too. We need a couple fixes, whether the weather gets warmer for that.
Is that money only for road projects, or does it cover like water infrastructure as well?
transportation funding only.
Okay.
Wouldn't be a good idea though, is, because don't you guys have a list of the water mains that do need replaced? You have obviously enough money probably in the water fund, don't you, to replace some of it?
We'll see.
Right, so maybe, because didn't you guys do a study a while ago that identified the water?
Our reliability study.
Yeah, that needed to be replaced next, so it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to replace a road where a water main needs to be, if there's money in the water fund to replace it. And try to knock out some of those with, because sounds like roads.
So the industrial park, you're waiting for MDOT to get back with you, but we all said that's a go, to go with that. We've made all the documentations for the village of Waterville and the DDA to make that happen, correct? We're not waiting on us, we're ready to go.
No, we have not signed a contract with the contractor at this point. We're waiting on approval from MDOT. As a condition of the funding, they have to approve the selection of the contractor.
How
So
long
that's,
is it gonna take?
well, it's been 3 weeks so far or more, and, I don't know how long it's gonna take.
We're gonna go through the summer without it, right?
Well, all I can do is keep following up with the guy at MDOT to kind of get him moving on it, but
So what projects can the village of Waterville have you guys do for PD group? What ones can we have, we can get going on? How quick can we do Grammar Road if we did the chip and seal from Grand River all the way to the railroad tracks? Could we get somebody in it, right on it? Is it availability, or do you think that that's?
Well, I mean, we'd have to put together somewhat of a plan set and then bid it, right? You want to get 3 bids on it.
Correct.
That could take 6 to 8 weeks, probably.
3 months.
Yeah.
But, correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, Rocky, but the DDA and the village where we got that figured out, so MDOT and everything gets it straight, we can get our industrial park corrected.
Once he gets MDOT sign off on it, then, we're gonna have to do our plan amendment, but then we can take care of that part of it. The only thing I'd say about the Gramer Road is I would just check with Caitlin, on whether or not you guys have the money right now to do that. Because part of the reason of my
That's right.
my talks with Caitlin was why the DDA was gonna shoulder the
industrial
drive, was because there just wasn't, you guys didn't have enough money because of how much Main Street cost you.
Correct.
And it kind of depleted your road funding.
I can agree with that.
So I would just check with her, because I don't know, I just know that was concern about that at the time.
Gotcha. All right. I just don't wanna hold you up, I just wanna be able to get something going.
No,
Sounds like
you
the
guys
state's
are-
holding him up.
Yeah, the state's holding us up. Yeah, you're not holding us up, don't worry. I'll let you know.
So there's not a treasurer report on this, you have a report for us?
That'll be the next meeting.
Okay, you don't have one for this meeting?
I haven't decided stuff.
Tell us stuff.
Yeah, so I had class last week, learned about investing. And speaking of investing, Michigan class, we just put 500,000 in there, and so far it's made $84 a day. And it's only been in there for maybe a week, so now we're up $590.
Yes.
So Caitlin will be here on Thursday.
This Thursday.
Yep, she's gonna help me get the EDA budget into the computer. And then, we're gonna look at more investing stuff to see how we can maximize that for the village. Yeah, we're working on it.
So we got money in that, and we're trying to build that up, but.
And I know some Ann Arbor, the guy at Ann Arbor said that he put their tax funds all in the Michigan class and build up faster. And it's probably the safer way to keep it, just in the bank.
I agree.
Like,
I think the council will agree with that too.
I'm gonna talk to Caitlin about doing that on Thursday. Transfer all the tax over. Be a safe side.
Anybody else got anything?
I have a question.
Yes.
What do you think is the most valuable thing you learned in the class?
You know, the most valuable thing, I have to say, is the number games. Because they have actually shown me a lot of stuff that we can. Like, I gotta read a bunch of policies now for the village, or at least find the ones that we might have had at some point, put them together and implement them. Not only the companies cover the village, but, and a lot of them have been able to answer questions I've been wondering about downstairs. So, they've been a great help.
Good. Question. Anybody else? Okay. Ryan Jones, give me a little bit, I know you've been very busy. I know you're not on here, but before we go to new business, I wanna chit chat with you. And like I said, I know we're all really busy, but I think let's use this week and next week, and for the next meeting, we need to make like a hammer decision. I don't have a problem with what we gotta do to go forward, but I want to get a certified letter from Gordon, or Scott Gould, to get to him, saying, look, we're on hold because of HR.
Yep.
We need to push this through so we get forward, because I know you're dealing with your program.
At DPW, mowing start, grass is growing faster than we cut it. And so, we're staying on that. Dealing with the fiber optic companies right now, getting all of the lawns restored that were horrible for the winter time. Had another lady call me today, so I was able to just text the address to the project manager, and they're probably gonna be on it tomorrow. So,
Really messed it up?
yep,
Okay.
yep, anywhere in time. So, getting that cleaned up. Got the new build going on, working with his crew, got the inspections done on that, did a great job, very professional company there.
Good.
Equipment maintenance, as always, brush pickup starts next week, so the brush chipper's ready to go. Doing some preventative maintenance on one of the pickup trucks right now. Figure it's gonna be cheaper to do it that way instead of an emergency breakdown on it. So,
Yeah, it's good, probably, so you mentioned some of the, I got clips of what was going on, I mean, EJ drive truck too, so that's how. So, you said the front,
before we put the new tires on it,
right,
last year.
Yep.
Tires on the front end were just tore right up. They were not wearing evenly.
Okay.
They had a very bad vibration.
okay,
133,000 miles on
right,
it. Drove the other day, noticing, front end feels real loose and sloppy on it. So,
didn't
brakes,
wreck the tires, would it be?
I don't believe so, no.
No, so the ball.
Needs brakes. I told BJ, I said I would look at the ball joints on it, probably tie rod ends,
What are they not the struts, what are they called?
control arms.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're just bad, so it's,
So I told him, I said, just check it over. It's cheaper to do it that way than having to break down on the side of the road or, something like that, or tear up, $500 tires. So just get it fixed, make sure it's right. I knew the brakes were going on it. I was on the squealers. I wasn't grinding yet, so.
So is anybody in the council have a problem? He took it to BJ, I'm sure they're working on it, I haven't been home, I've been driving, but it's gonna probably
It's
be.
mobile. He's fastest in this opportunity, and I have to have the truck back as quick as possible. Because
He brought the vac truck over and he had to take it twice before he could get it completely finished. the steering, I mean, he was,
Yeah, we
stood up.
lost
to
power
see the
steering
turn.
on it and the front end on it, lots of broken parts and,
But if you looked in here, you can see it, and we actually, there was a drag link and a gearbox.
Gearbox on it.
Sit down,
like now it drives like a brand new truck. You know, and luckily it was at Hitchcock's, which is close to town, because the day it was down there, we had 2 instances where we needed to use it in an emergency situation. So I was able to just go get it, communicate with BJ. You know, he told me, yeah, drive it. So, you know,
Did they have no power steering?
some cases it's best to go this route. But like I said, I gotta have that truck back because with mowing season now, the other truck's being used to pull lawnmowers around town. And, you know, so that's why the truck's at Hitchcock's. Figure it's cheaper to do preventative instead of emergency repair.
And the other thing that we brought up we found, Brian Jones found, there was another thing they want to go around, the percentage, I know you probably talked to the council on that already, about how we gotta do a percentage by October.
That's the lead and copper rule that's in the packet that I handed out.
Yep,
I kind of discussed that with, because there's a lot of information to process. And you want me to do that now or a new business?
No, I'm just trying to
Right.
grab because you and I usually get to talk 2-3 times a week,
but-
and I just haven't been able. The
But this
stick
is
that
a-
you brought by is still right, I tried to get it to Sam.
Yeah,
And I need to get it to Dan. Dan needs to come over to my place like him. So
yeah. Cause you drive this pink stake in the ground, so I can put a mistig in, so we
And
can
we
put
get
sign
that.
in. I got the sign sitting in the shop.
Yeah, I'll shoot over. I was thinking Sam was gonna do it, and I'll shoot over.
Sam, I think, has been very busy
Yeah,
too.
Sam's like training.
So,
So,
But I just wanted to make sure before we got into the rest of this, that we got Scott Gould on board to understand what I'm trying to explain, to make sure the next phase, we don't have to go backwards, we can just keep going forward. And there's no reason somebody can't give us a solid answer to get going. But with that said, I'm gonna let us go to, anybody got advocate reports other than all the agenda that we have? Seeing none? So the new business, Lions Club, special event, White Cane fundraiser. Do you have anybody that recommends we let them?
I'll make a motion to approve the Lions Club White Cane fundraiser on May 3rd and May 4th, 2024.
Second,
Okay, roll call please.
Hoover,
yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Wolford,
Yes.
Hitchcock.
Yes. Tom Gotcha, right? Gotcha. Yep, James Edwards, the builders. Okay, what do you got going on here? Just, you got another building going up, right? Another house going up?
Yes, and I was just asking if you guys could do the 7,500 for the lot improvement.
Didn't we give you for 3 houses?
It was one,
Just
It was
one?
just the one you said, Brad, and you said come back and
Okay.
talk again.
Well,
also on that, we
Yes.
did say that the road has to be done,
yes,
Yes.
and
yes,
nothing has been done about that yet.
you live there,
And
yes.
I live there, so
The road has to be done.
Well, we're wanting to know when we can have a cat put.
I can't
So that
get
could
it
be
correct there.
turned over to the village.
We had the PD group go over and check it out.
Well, I'm just trying to get some houses done.
I know.
Get some capital going. As you know, we've lived there for a long time. It hasn't been like I'm not maintaining the grounds and everything else. But the road is a big nut. I don't have money to do the road yet. I'm trying to start some houses. That's the biggest thing. The biggest issue we have, if you want to know about objections for the city, is the city. The city with the tax base is what I mean. The banks qualify, even all that, and it's not even legitimate. I think Leroy, you guys assess them fairly. But the millage rate in that, so I'm trying really hard. I want to start one on lot 21, but I can't. I'm not going to lie to get a free or a discount on this thing. I've been straight shooter everybody in this township since day one, including your husband, when I've asked about the boat. You know, do we have to have the boat in the front yard? And it's not normal to me, you know, it's just not. And, you know, I turned down building a pole barn, because you don't build a pole barn there. You allow some sheds and that's fair or whatever, but I'm just trying to stay afloat with keeping these things going. I pay about 20 grand a year in taxes on those all this time too.
No, Sandra, can you build a pole barn on your location or no?
No, they wanted to buy one next door.
Is your boat next to your home?
Yeah.
So it's like my neighbor, where I got a neighbor who's got a camper and boat right next to his home.
I understand, but it's been on the grass and it's been, it's not normal neighborhoods, we don't do that. And I'm not trying to be critical of you, I've talked to you, I've talked to your husband.
Okay.
But I'm just saying it's been a struggle, I've owned these since 2016.
So when we
I
got the
believe it's
70,
when I bought these things.
so what's the discount? If we don't give you the 7,500, what's it normally costing then?
$10,961.
Right.
So it's 11,000 versus 7,500. Anybody in the council want to recommend anything on this? I do feel bad for your road, I know that sucks, but, do you want another home in that area? The more homes we get, the more we can assign over, and eventually the village will take over that road, eventually, but I don't know,
It's been how many years now?
I know, it's been a
So
while.
how many years more?
He's done more for where you're at than anybody else that owns it, I'll give him that. Okay. So the one house is going up right now, the second one is gonna be aside that one, or down
Across
the
the street,
across the street?
lot number 21 is what,
Where you're at.
yeah, so it kind of evens out a little bit, get people in there, I put the big red sign up, trying to make it look decent.
Yep.
Even the group, I'm gonna talk to them about the fence again, I got a fence that doesn't look beautiful, I think fences are fine, you don't have any, I'm gonna try to do some more active things to create some positivity too. And I like you, I've always liked your husband, so I'm not gonna take that as any, please don't take that as a negative, it's just. one of
So
those
I
things.
recommended the council Tom Goshawk, Jake Edward Builders, he's gonna build a second home. That I recommended the council that we can give him another 7,500 versus the 10,900 to supply another home that can be put up in our village order. Okay, seeing none, does anybody else have any other recommendation? Any thoughts?
I don't actually know how to do, because, I mean, I'd like to see more people come in there too, and if the road was fixed, I'm pretty sure that would attract more people, because it is, you've driven down there, I'm pretty
I
sure.
have.
I was just there.
And you
Okay.
didn't even drive all the way,
No,
you
it
just
was
drove
rough.
into my
It was rough.
driveway.
And I'm all about this village. This village is really important to me and bringing people in. And when you're looking in a neighborhood to move, if you have a rough road, what's the first thing you're saying? I've got to drive down this road?
Okay, so if he builds a second home at this point, $10,900 is what you got to pay, correct? So,
Can I add something?
yes, go ahead, Tom.
Discussion too, is that's not really true as far as the roads go and people, I'm not disagreeing, it looks bad and it has, but people understand it's at some point gonna have another tower. And just do a little patch there or whatever, if you need something like that, I'm open to doing something like that, but I don't think that's the driving force why people aren't building, I think there's some other reasons too. And I just pointed some of them out myself.
There you go. Excuse me, everybody, I'm sorry, I had a cough, I couldn't get rid of it. Okay, Tom, so at this point, we're at 10,900, if you build between now and the next council meeting, we try to get next council. So, that's where you're at.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
You're at $10,900 right now if you wanna build another house. We can put you on the agenda for next meeting, see if we can make something different, okay? That's where we're at. Okay, I do drive projection.
Can I finish my train of thought a little, or no? Just for a sec. Oh, I'm just saying, the road itself, I will bring in a proposal, I guess, on the next meeting or something, but I think there's a lot of other things that haven't helped, you know, as far as that goes. And then, I don't know, I guess I will ask the township, in a regular neighborhood, is it okay to have boats and stuff in the front yard? I mean, I'm asking sincerely on that,
I can
because Jim Wright's not here, I guess.
go down Graver Road, go right next, just before you get to my house.
I know that's-
It's on the right side of my house.
I know, but that's not in a regular neighborhood.
I'm not in a regular neighborhood.
Pardon me?
I'm not in a regular neighborhood.
Well, your home is in a beautiful piece of land. This is a regular neighborhood with tight lots that are 70 feet wide, that is a difference.
He's closer, he's as close to me as what she's got a house to her.
It's not in a neighborhood though, it's just a tight bunch of lots, that's
What
all I'm
size boat is
saying.
it?
Pardon me?
16 foot.
16 foot, like a fishing boat?
People around us, including us, we all have boats.
Yeah.
In our
But,
driveways,
well,
in our
I'm not an
backyards.
arrogant ass either, I live in Bath, I'm not like Mr. Big Shot. But I'm just saying, the road itself isn't a lot of why it's not been moving. So, right, so you guys meet every third, right? Would be better
Yeah,
to put
it's
something-
second Tuesday.
Second Tuesday.
Second Tuesday. Yep, we'll try it again, Tom, but at this point, if you wanna build a house, it's gonna be $10,900 for your second house. But you wanna come back the next meeting, maybe we can
I
get.
wish you would have just said the 3 was okay last time.
But, you know, the deal with your road, we're willing to, Josh Rocky, with us, with your road, you know, remember we said there was a time where you would give us 5 houses, and we were gonna sign over the road to the village of Weberville and get that done, so you wouldn't have the responsibility of that road. But if you got something you bring to that, and I'm gonna let Josh Rocky talk now.
No, I won't, and can I ask what you meant by that? Because that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, nothing other than it'd be nice so you didn't have to,
So if I sign the road over to the village,
yep,
and it's your road,
yep,
you'll take care of it.
yeah, when you put it, when you're gonna, let's sign over right
I
now.
hope to try to get some money, I can't get any dang monies.
So that is.
I'll let you talk, go ahead.
Yeah, so it needs like a 2 or 3, is it 2-inch cap or 3-inch cap?
I think it's 2.
2 to 3.
2 to 3.
Yeah.
Needs finish cap is what it needs.
I mean, I'm staying in business, but it's not like 7.5% interest rates have helped when you have it at 3.
Okay, Josh Rocky.
Well, I was thinking that somewhat resolve this maybe for the next council meeting is, you know, I mean, there could be, you could have an agreement that the money goes into escrow, you know, it's at 7,500, he pays the time, 10,900, and it goes into an escrow account, that difference, with the thought of him putting the cap on the road and then giving, you know, deeding the road over to the village, and then he gets that money back if he falls through with those stipulations. I mean, that would be a easier way to do it, to make sure that, obviously, it sounds like from what the village standpoint of what they want to actually accomplish would happen, and also gets in the discount, on building their house. I mean, obviously, housing in Enum County is at a sparse, so it's good to have home builders and developments going on. And the amount of taxes coming from that property, once it's sold, is a positive too, but that's what I would suggest. I mean, I'm sure Scott could actually set something like that up, of an agreement of some sort, which then that way it's a win-win for everyone, and to make sure that, you know, because I mean, that road being dedicated over to the village is gonna provide more, road funding to the village too. It actually increases their money they get from MDOT. I think they.
Well, I'm open to that, I never have been.
Rick,
When Rusty was involved, I didn't even know what that meant.
I got you. You're not against us owning the road, because you really don't want to own the road anyway, do you?
Probably
I've
comes-
been slow plowing it, I've
Yeah,
been mowing
say-
it for all these years.
Right. You
One
have to
time
plow it and all that stuff.
Go ahead.
And that's it, you have to plow it and maintain it and all that stuff, so I mean, I think the original agreement, because I was here for that, was for you to put the final cap on, so it was a good road for the village to take over, and at that point, you would deed it off to the village, and then it would just be done, and the village would have responsibility from that point on.
And then we had 5 houses on there for $7,500.
Yeah,
If you have,
Yeah, what you're saying is I have to flip the bill for the road, or there's some funds available.
well,
That's what.
that's where we're at, so that's Black Oak, when you get a chance, PP Group, if you can look at, if you have any, I don't know.
Black Road?
Black Oak.
It's right next to the high school.
So if he signed over Black Oak to the village of Warrenville, see if there would be some type of funding, instead of saying grant, funding that would, and then it would benefit the village of Warrenville, taken as is, but it needs a 2-inch cap put on.
You would add it to your Act 51 road network and you get extra dollars every year for
Would
that.
you, with Scott Gould, Josh Rocky, and you, does that make sense to actually, that won't be too costly to check that out, and then we can get back with Tom on that?
What do you want me to look at, how much extra funding you get from the state for that?
Correct, and what kind of benefit, if there'd be a couple benefits, which I think Josh just mentioned them, to have the extra streets added to our village wherever, it'd make it helpful for us, Tom, and then we can help you with getting more homes in there, and then we can get the road going. So, you're into the house building, not the road building.
I understand, but I know the numbers because he's talked about it.
And I'm
I've
really,
been thinking about wanting to do this too, but it hasn't been possible.
and I'm thinking that what I'm hearing from the village, we're willing to take on your road the way it is, and then we'll repair it from the village standpoint, and then let you continue to put homes on that street.
Yeah, and I meant no offense to you either. I've talked to you, but I just wanted you to know that.
None taken.
No, that's good. I'm just speaking my piece.
Question,
I haven't liked the fence.
Black Oak.
Basketball.
it connects to Kramer and Grand River, and it's got quite a few houses that can go in there.
There's 7 and 8 with the new foundation. I want to start another one. I hope you would reconsider 21. Because I want to pull permits either way.
How many
Pardon me?
how many vacant lots do you have left there?
I have 19 right now.
19?
There's one that faces the road. It's a duplex lot. Where that old barn used to be, you were there when it was there. And that's working out. As part of the cleanup of that other area.
So, Tom, if I'm hearing it right, you would, if we worked out, you'd sign over the road to the village whoever.
It's like,
As is.
I want to see the terms, what it would be or what I have to cost.
We'll fix it all up, but you're willing, like, you do that, and we could give you 3 to 5 houses with $7,500. We take the road over, we get the road fixed.
Yeah, but I mean, what, can I ask you, those guys we talked about these, I did the comps of a lot of improvements in taxes 5 years ago. Is there any reason we couldn't just be 75 on all of them?
Right.
I mean,
On all the rest of them?
Well, sure.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's no reason to not ask because
Okay.
truthfully, that's the going rate, except when you get into the howls and brightens.
Okay. So you got 19 different spots that would be $7,500, and you donate, sign over the road to the village worker.
We'll see what that means to me. Is there any negative to me? I don't know. I'm not Scott Gould. He's a straight shooter lawyer.
Yeah.
Know that, and I'd like to talk to council, whether it be it, but.
Right,
You're saying
we'll
you
see if we
take it
get,
over and you would name the name thing. Shit, we should have talked about this about 8 years ago.
Why we have the people that know it.
What's that?
We didn't have the knowledge at that time.
All I know is what roads cost now. You know more than I do.
You could have did it too.
Yeah, I ain't had the money to do it, no.
So look at Black Oak and see if there's, don't spend a lot on.
Yeah.
Well, I'll look at it too. I got a friend, I'll be quiet, because we got other things to discuss here.
So in just in terms of background on it, there was a previous developer that came in and he put down a leveling course, but he never topped it.
That's right.
Then he went
For
back
25
up,
years.
he came in and bought all the lots.
Right.
That's correct.
Okay, it was supposed to be a private road.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to be private? I don't even know, do you know, Brad?
I think it was private right out the get-go, yes.
Okay.
And then Whitney's Estates was gonna develop it and sign it over to the village eventually.
Right, he was a builder, he was a mortgage broker for I was told. He wasn't a builder. None of that matters, I don't know him, never have, but that's the situation.
Okay.
I get him, I don't, you know.
We'll check out and see what kind of advantages we got.
Yeah.
Okay? We'll keep our smiley faces on, we'll try to figure this out, okay?
Well, getting on the happy bus when you get off is the right way to go.
Right.
Life's too short.
So we,
Thank you for listening.
you're welcome, you're welcome. Highview Drive project, anybody got any more, we already talked about it, so we need more on that, we're waiting for MDOT, right?
Yep.
Right.
Green Road project, you mentioned that, so we all on board, do we want, basically at this point, Sam's not here, what? Yeah, we gotta check with Caitlin before we turn around and spend $110,000, but in my opinion, I'd grind it all up and chip and seal it from Grinding Road all the way to the railroad tracks, because it just, that would be the way to do it. And you'd be surprised how nice it would look.
Right.
But at this point, we should see if we're getting money from the DDA, and if the DDA goes, well, why are you just adding another road to it? It's like stealing candy from a kid, right? Okay.
Thanks, Josh.
It's
So
probably
we-
kid, Brad.
Number 5, recognize resignation of Lawrence Skip Horton from the DDA Resolution 2024 of 04. I recommend to the council that we let Skip Horton resign.
Second.
Say, it's more just a reckon.
Oh,
I can say it again.
Just as you guys.
Just recognize, we don't have to vote on it?
No.
All right, so then the other one is recognize the resignation of Mike Rumsey for the DDA Resolution 2024-08. And then recognize the resignation of Jordan Fuller from the, what?
Jalen, no, right?
Yeah, Jordan tables.
Jordan's gonna be tabled?
Yep.
Okay, recognize the resignation of Christina Bishiri from the DDA Resolution. She wants to be off the DDA, right?
Yeah.
So everybody recognize that. I recommend a new DDA member, Randy Swenson's Resolution 2024-05. So we have to be so moved.
So moved.
And second, and then anybody got any discussion, or we can vote them in for the DDA? Seeing none, roll call.
Yes.
Stanfield?
Yes.
Walter?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, new DDA member Dan Norton, Resolution 2024-11. I recognize this as a great opportunity. He's been on our boards before. I recommend to the council that we let him be part of our DDA member. So moved by Lana, second by Sandra. Any discussion? Roll call.
Schoenberg?
Yes.
Stanfield?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes. New DDA member Les Raines from the Andersons, Resolution 2024-12. This is Les Raines that works out there. He's in our community, and Mike Rumsey has got more going on with the Andersons. So Les Raines is also part of the Andersons, so we can keep the DDA with the Andersons involved, which is a great asset to our industrial park. I recommend that we allow Les Raines to be on our DDA, to our council.
So moved.
So moved by Lana,
Second.
second by Sandra. Roll call, please.
Schoenberg?
Yes.
Stanfield?
Yes.
Walter? Hitchcock?
Yes. Fire department grant. Oh, that's fire department grant is what,
From
Mike Yance. Did he give you any information?
He did, so they just needed a letter saying that we're okay with them doing the grant. So I just sent it to him today because he did it by midnight.
So I told her, as soon as I knew this, because he called me in the middle of the night, one of these nights, I don't know, I was trucking or whatever, and he said something about we have to have it so the council understands that he can use this grant on our village fire hall. So I recommended to the council that the fire department can use the grant per Mike Yance, phone call to Brad Hitchcock on this grant money that could go to build into our fire hall right here in Weberville.
Station 62.
Station 52, thank you.
62.
62,
Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
okay. And then any discussion? So he called me and he just said, hey, I gotta be recognized that we can actually use this grant for the village of Weberville for Station 62, which he didn't say Station 62, but that's what it is. So then we've been talking about it, where they've been trying to get money to raise to make ours look a little nicer and presentable for them to stay the night. I know a couple times they got cots there, but
They do stay
Right.
over, like if there's a storm or if they have like
Yep.
severe weather, they do actually
so
spend.
what, in the discussion, it did not say any money coming from the village of Weberville. They just want the village council and the members to be recognized. They're gonna be able to use the grant. Should be no cost to us at this point. Okay, roll call please.
Schoenberg?
Yes.
Stanfield?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Hitchcock?
Yes. Okay, Brian Jones, number 13, lead and copper rule presentation.
Okay, so this is on the drinking water side of Eagle. This is in response to the Flint water crisis that occurred. So back in 2018, Eagle said that every community, regardless of size, they have to create an inventory of their water system. We already know what water mains are. Eagle wants to know what the water lines are that bring water to everybody's homes. So, in 2018, this was released, and they said you will do this. So the first page here is just a reminder letter that we are due October 16th of 2024. We have roughly 5 months. If we don't meet this date, we will be in violation not only of the State of Michigan Safe Drinking Water Act, but also the Federal Safe Drinking Water Act. So the second page is the preliminary inventory. These were just basically guesses. These were due. Our town, we said we have 455 on December 2019. Talking with Eagle, we've actually reported these wrong. We have to be listed as unknown, likely not lead. Because in the next packet, they define what it means to have a known or unknown service line. We do not meet any of the criteria. So therefore, we have to dig up these addresses to verify what the service lines are. In the packet for the service line material verification, I have it highlighted. They recommended having it done by 2022, just because of the scope of this project, all the information, all the unknowns that you're going to encounter when you're digging holes. So they recommended by 2022. Right now, we have 0. None have been done.
Thought we had the one,
None have been done.
it was done wrong. It was my house.
That was sampling. Okay, this actually has to verify. So if you read through this packet, in order to verify the service lines, you have to have 3 or 4 points of verification. 1 point inside the house where the water line comes in. The other 3 points, we can get away with only 2. Go to the curb stop. That's the valve out in your front yard. Everybody has one. We have to go within 18 inches of each side of that curb stop. You have to dig up and see it with your own eyes and have photos of it.
Which the back truck would be able to do that, correct?
Yes,
And that we gotta do 100,
88.
88.
So you have 2 holes at each address, okay? So had this been started back in 2018, we could have done 2 holes a month and would have been fine.
Is there another company that could come and help
That
us?
is my only solution that I've came up with so far, is we are going to have to contract out, either with ML Chartier, Badger Daylighting. There's companies out there that do it.
Whoever does it, it'd have to be a water back truck.
It has to be a back truck. You're not gonna take a backhoe and dig somebody's hole up. You just have to dig a pothole. I was part of this project in my previous municipality. It is not easy to do. We were doing between 2 to 4 homes a day, and that was with a crew of 4 guys.
So if we got a new person that was a twin to you,
Yep,
I think with our equipment, we could get this done if we could get,
not with our equipment. Our truck won't survive, and we don't have the manpower to do it.
so we still have to contract it.
We're gonna have to contract out no matter what. And then you have to dedicate 1 village employee to be with that crew at all times, because they have to, 1, communicate with the homeowners. 2, they gotta go ahead to the next address and say, we're gonna dig here. They gotta make sure there's no cars in the way. They have to do all the paperwork. I have to create a simple form, like what we use in my other municipality. What's on the city side, what's on the homeowner side, what's inside, because we have to make entry into the homes. While we do have it in our water ordinance that we have to have access to the water meter, Eagle has recommended having an access agreement signed by the homeowner that allows us to come into their home. because then if they refuse, then it gets messy. Because then it's killing time, we're wasting time, you know.
Right.
So
Is there certain houses that they want us to do, or we pick the houses we want?
they want a random snapshot of our community. So we can't use new construction projects, like we can't do all the houses on Apple Lane and Beach Lane.
Nice.
So
All four out.
you enter in all our service addresses into an Excel spreadsheet, you put formula in, and it creates a random list. Then you take your top 88, and that's your addresses that you're gonna dig up. They do not want you, and like I said, read this packet. The information, this is right off Eagle's website, and it's highlighted from Eagle. Don't try to apply logic to it. You have to be very random. Now, I do not want to dig up any holes or homes on Grand River Avenue, Kramer, or Pardon. I want to stay off the main roads. We can do it, it's just fine, we're still random, but traffic, yes.
Do we have enough information about, the recent work on Main Street, Apple Lane and Beach to be able to know?
Cannot use those as our random snapshots of our system. They don't.
But those are known, those are sort of known.
They're known, so that deducted from my unknowns.
Gotcha, all right.
And the problem is we don't have photos at the curb stop.
How about-
homeowner site?
Black Oak Street's got a new house going in, we can check that, right? That'll work.
Just sitting out here.
No,
It's new construction.
Bother me, go for it.
That's, I'm trying to, you have to use the word random.
All right, whatever. So,
And
I guess-
and I only know this because I sat in with the meetings in 2017 and 18 with Eagle doing this.
is this even gonna be possible at 88 days, like?
It is not, I'm telling you that right now. We are going to be in violation come October. This was supposed to be started in 2018. It
So here-
clearly states it.
Here's a bit of a wrinkle is that, several months ago, in working with Shane, we applied for a grant to try and, get the village reimbursed for their truck and using their employees in order to do this. And they haven't contacted me yet. There's so many grants that they're giving that they're working through the list, but that was about $50,000. So it may be, since they haven't gotten to Weberville yet, that if you do decide to go with a contractor, that may be grant eligible.
Yep.
But I'll need to contact that person and they'll likely want, they'll want it bid out. I think there were some bidding requirements for that.
So
Wait, so bidding requirements, so we just can't call ML Chartier or whatever, we gotta bid out that we got 88 days.
Yep.
We haven't done it yet, right? I mean, and council understands what we're dealing with, right? Okay.
So that is why I printed off this packet. So
I
you guys can see this. This is available on Eagle's website under the lead and copper rule. Okay.
We don't have no lead problem here at this point.
To my understanding, we've never seen lead in this town, which is a good thing.
Right.
But we still have to prove it. Even if we had records from back in the 70s and 80s, they're null and void in this process because lead was allowed until 1988.
So
And it talks about it in this.
you went to the meeting, so you're pretty sure we're not gonna make the quota? What, is there a violation then when we don't make it?
There will be,
Fine,
but they
there's a
will.
fine every
They
day
will
until
not
we get
discuss
it?
that until after that date. I sat in a webinar, I want to have the exact date here, Thursday, April 18th, we had a webinar.
Yep.
I sat in on that. I asked a question, if a new operator in charge is hired by a municipality and it's discovered that this process has not been started,
Correct.
can an extension be filed? And they immediately said no extensions will be filed. That's why they gave us 6 years to do this.
Yeah, the whole thing is like the council, did anybody from the council, myself personally, I heard about a sniff, like I told you, and that's it. So the president never got to see any of this in front of me.
And that is our responsibility when we become licensed through Eagle as operators in charge. It is our responsibility to see that we are in compliance. I can't go back in time and change it. I did ask when I hired into this village about our lead situation, because like I said, I was doing this in my previous municipality. This is what I was doing. The direct answer from the previous operator in charge was, we don't have lead in this town. I said, I know that, but we still have to do this.
Correct.
No, we don't. City of Stockbridge is not doing it, I'm not doing it. Okay, so I dropped it. Last summer, we had a visit from a gentleman from Michigan Rural Water Association. They're called Water Circuit Riders. They come and help municipalities.
Gotcha.
He stopped in and asked us, just see how we were doing.
Yeah,
And
wow.
he brought this up. And he says, well, where are you at on your inventory? Answer was, not doing it.
Hmm.
I heard it with my own ears.
Gotcha.
So,
Well, we need to do it.
here we are. I have it printed, I have it highlighted, I have a packet for Scott
You have it back.
with everything.
Okay.
Like I
Check that
said,
out, and I
this
guess the
is
letter, see
directly-
if there's an extension or something with
this is directly from Eagle's website. It's not privy just to me being a licensed operator. It's public knowledge. Search it under lead and copper rule. I kind of highlighted a few things on there, but we have to read through it. So that's the lead and copper rule information. I've kind of got a game plan, but it's all dependent on what this council does to move forward.
Well, at this point, do you need help from the council to help you get 3 bids out to people that have vac trucks that can dig?
That I don't need, because it's gonna be very specific information that the contractor's gonna ask.
Okay,
Type of soils, traffic control, who's gonna be responsible for putting mistigs in, et cetera, et cetera. My plan is, we have to have somebody.
Right.
I can't be there all day with them. The 2 current other employees can't. So my plan is hire it out, have a representative from the Village of Weberville kind of oversee the project. We can fill the holes back in. What we were doing in my other municipality is we were bringing sand, filling the holes in, letting them settle out for a couple of months, and then come back in topsoil. So I do believe that we have the power to fill the holes in, because as the contractor digs the holes, we can throw a cone and half a sheet of plywood over the holes and move on. And then at the end of the day, when Max is done lawn mowing, pick backhoe and sand, throw a bunch of sand in these holes.
so somebody from the council, you're saying to knock on the door?
No, has to be an employee.
So you just said,
Because you have to be right,
you
yes,
just said Max, you and Greg can.
I said we have to hire, you gotta hire somebody, Brad. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, we gotta get help. Okay, because it has to be somebody that can go communicate with the homeowners, have knowledge of the lead and copper rule, knowledge of mistigs. I mean, it's a whole process. This was not meant to be done in 4 or 5 months. And
So we can't even set up the bids for the vac trucks because we don't have an employee.
we don't know what route we're gonna go. And all contractors are going to bid and price the job depending on what they have to do. Contractors can't fill out the paperwork for us because it's our water system, not theirs.
What if you had a PDA inspector out there?
You got somebody that would
That-
always do that?
Possibly.
Yeah.
That could be a discussion.
See if you got somebody from the PD group that would help Ryan Jones, because at this point, we're not gonna be able to hire anybody until we get the other part resolved. So I want Ryan Jones to be able to go forward with getting the 3 bids out, knowing that we got somebody that can follow them around. We have to hire somebody from the PD group that can do that with us. They collaborated with Ryan Jones prior to this, so that could work.
Hold on.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I
I'll
mean,
contact you tomorrow.
I mean, it may not have to be somebody that's out there full-time, but maybe it's somebody that like goes in advance and knocks on doors.
Has to be there full time. The second that hole is dug, eyes have to be on that service line.
But you guys know the town of Marvel as well as we do, because you guys have been here, Alan Boyer, he's
Yeah,
retired.
oh, yeah.
Gave him a bowling shirt.
Well, it's gonna be a matter if we got the people to do it
The
or not.
Village of Weberville and myself, as the operator in charge of this water system, with my license on the line, we are not gonna have a contractor say, oh yeah, that was copy. You have to have photos of it,
True.
and, so it's our system. So it is very, very important that who we have on that job site be knowledgeable, trustworthy, able to deal with the homeowners and the public. I mean, it's a whole monster that we're dealing with. It's not just pull a truck up, dig a hole, and leave. There's a lot of moving parts involved. So, we'll talk. I mean, it's gonna be an all-day, 5-day-a-week thing for 4 months. I'll create a generic form that they would fill out. They have
Don't the council agree that PD Group, LSG got bought out by PD Group? I mean, they've been around, they've been running our job over here on Apple Lane. They know our town. They're willing to help us get through this pinch. What do you think, Scott? Will that work? Would that work?
I mean, I think we gotta look at everything at this point, being that
Right.
the timeline is so tight.
Yep. Right.
I'll
Okay.
start making some phone calls. So,
I just don't wanna hold you up. I wanna get 3 bids out to get the bids going. And then if you can find 5 truck drivers, I go around, follow, I take pictures. I got my good phone, takes pictures.
and then, I mean, I wish it was just that easy, but unfortunately,
Nothing's that easy.
not underground. And if we find a galvanized service line,
Yep.
it's gonna leak, guaranteed. And then when we find a galvanized service line, since we can't prove that that galvanized has never been connected to lead, Village of Weberville is responsible for complete replacement all the way into the house.
But it doesn't have to be immediate.
Not immediate, no. Not at, the second we find it.
But there may be some ongoing testing requirements if you identify one at the tap.
We're being led to believe no, because we can't prove it was never connected to lead. And that's the thing, they define in here quite clearly what known and unknown is, and we can't prove it.
So this person to help would be knock on the door, they like them, know the people, the residents, be able to get to the meter, take pictures of the hole that will be back down.
Looking through a hole about that big.
Yep, I agree. Yep. It'd be 4 to 6 feet around, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
How many holes would a contractor think they can do in a day? Maybe 2?
Like I said,
If everything went good.
everything looked good, you're doing 3 to 4 holes a day. Because your truck fills up, you gotta go dump, and you gotta get water. Tree roots, unknown concrete slabs and rocks, I mean, there's so many different variables. Then you get sand, all of a sudden that sand's caving in, all of a sudden your hole, is 3 times the size of what you think it's gonna be.
Yep, okay.
There's so many variables, and that's why when I had a conversation with a guy kind of off the record, they're not even sure how they would bid it. And I said, it's probably gonna have to be an hour to bid.
Okay.
So
We wouldn't want to use our back truck.
it won't survive, and we don't have the manpower to do it.
Okay.
Because that truck will have to roll out at 7 a.m.
Right.
and go all day long.
Okay, so I'll do 2 things. I'll check on the inspector availability, and then I'll follow up on that grant that I applied for to see if we can
The revolving fund.
do a little switcheroo on, okay, village is not gonna do it, we're gonna get a contractor, and here's 3 bids. Do we still qualify?
Yep.
We may qualify for more, if our estimate comes in more.
That seems like this is top priority, that we need to do this over and above everything else, so if you could, help us go back to BD and do what we can do.
Like I
Work
said,
with Ryan, we're gonna have to accelerate this program.
Yeah.
Okay. Scott, Gould, do you have any questions on that idea?
No, I think that's what we have to do. I know all the communities I'm working with, this is, they're all.
See you, Tom.
It's an ongoing battle.
Like we don't think early, but I got a meeting I'm gonna get to.
Community you live in that I came from, like I said, we bought a truck just for this. We spent $400,000 on a back truck just to do this project. And it goes every single day.
We use it a lot.
So,
We got it through the grant money, through that flip process, but we got it back truck. I don't think it was initially, I remember was brought to my attention was, we got the back truck from Kalaki knowing we were gonna dig up holes for this project.
and it would have done just fine had the project been started when it was supposed to start.
Correct.
because it came out to about 2 holes a month.
Mhm.
You know, which is fine, whatever.
I
Just like
understand.
to ram and jam that old truck, that old blower system on it, run it hard, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. It's not gonna survive.
Does there need to be any sort of general public outreach to let people know?
There will be a
what's
public
going on?
notice going out that this is happening. I was gonna probably have Tammy put an insert in the next water bill, saying heads up, you may be contacted by a water department employee. For the inside part, I would probably do it like I did when I finished out the meter changes. If somebody can't be home until 6 o'clock at night, then I'll go at 6 o'clock at night.
Whatever she does, I would keep a record that she did it, because I
I
think
have
there's some rules in there about that.
Everything has to be documented. So, I mean, between, like I said, public notice, missed days, you know, access agreements, it's a beast that's not supposed to be done in 4 months, and
No.
that's where we're at.
Josh, Rocky, you got anything on this? You understand? You understand?
No, I'm just actually reading up on
Okay.
You said it was supposed to start in
it. Learn more about it, see if I can
2018.
possibly make some calls for, if there is a possibility of extension. I might be able to.
Okay.
So like I said, I asked the director of the lead and copper unit, and it was a flat no. So, because we had 6 years to do it.
Pictures.
There's a lot
Set you up.
of state legislation that going on right now that has to do with that.
Yeah, we just have to team up. See,
I gotta believe that Weberville's not that small community struggling with it.
We're not, and
Going to fire.
a lot of communities have, they tried suing,
It's hard.
that went nowhere. Are they gonna extend the date? I don't know, that's the joy of working with Eagle. Yeah. But right now, the hard date is October, and, you know,
Alright,
so,
well, I think we got a plan. I think we got something.
like I said, I started work on it kind of quietly.
Yeah.
Once everything, you know, occurred. I had to get us,
I love our fence. I love the.
I had to get us in immediate compliance with the lagoons, obviously,
Yep,
and I knew this was still on the stove top, and,
Luke, thank you again. On behalf of the village board and myself, that the fence, the electric fence, that was awesome. The lagoons are back to comfortability. You probably have to do a little paint fix up. You need
Greg did
Sebastian-
some yesterday, actually.
Okay.
We're gonna keep doing more. I'm gonna do
You
one
need
more.
Sebastian to come and do a little bit more?
Don't know yet.
Do you use all our millings? They're all gone?
No.
Oh,
No, we piled them up out back.
okay,
Just
because,
kind of clean up the front of the facility.
I guess so.
I'm gonna do one more discharge next month, a small one, just to bring 3 down to the level I wanted at.
yeah,
But other than that, lagoons are perfect. So,
okay.
Thank you.
And then, safety requirements, I'm seeing what you got here.
Yep, we, to my knowledge, like I said, I've been here about 1.5 years now. I've never seen any written.
Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll chat with you tomorrow, Bruce.
Okay, Ryan.
I
Thank you.
got my cell phone number if you need any help, but yeah, if you guys can help me accelerate this, it'd be great. When-
Okay.
Next meeting, I want 3 quotes with back trucks and see what we can do.
We'll work it out.
Yeah, I'll get with the companies that I had.
Let's
signed
get her
up.
done.
Okay, good, thanks.
Thank you.
So anyways, on the safety rules, to my understanding, this village has nothing. I've never seen one since I've been employed here. I didn't sign anything when I hired on. But this village can't afford to take any more compliance hits or have any more trouble.
You're saying that you got hired and you're not safe?
No, I'm saying I've never seen like a safety manual that we had to agree to for employment.
What, the handbook's not enough?
No, they like OSHA and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, the OSHA handbook.
So this is just an idea that I've had floating around in my head.
Scott, would you had it so we were in compliance and these guys are working with no safeties?
No, I didn't. I mean,
Right there. See?
Right there.
Chair's jump. Right up the chair.
Oh, no.
Here, Scott, I'll give this to Scott. This is the packet that they all have.
Watch it, don't get a paper cut.
They're on to
okay.
It's all bound
That's
together.
okay, we're all, us 3 are first aid CPR trained.
So-
Yeah.
No paper cuts.
These are just ideas that I think as a village we need to move forward with. I've since got Greg and Max hard hats, because there was no hard hats floating around. I had my own, because that's how I've always done in this
Did
industry.
you make you mow lawn with a hard hat?
No,
Oh,
No.
I didn't.
there's a section in there talking about hard haters, so, around backhoes and backers.
That's very
Anytime you
true.
can hit your head, you
That's
know?
right, very true.
So I printed off the OSHA standard right from Michigan's website that covers hard hats.
No, wait. Before you were here, them guys wore safety glasses, eye protections, they probably didn't, I know they weren't hard hats when they did brush. When they
I don't know, I wasn't
fed, I know, when you weren't, when they fed that sticks and everything for the crappy old grinder thing we did, because it kicked back when Clacky was here. So, but I'm just going by protecting myself from, I mean, when we did the wood chipper, the guys had hard hats, ears,
So-
and glasses.
I know that last year, I personally went to Hudson and bought hard hats with earmuffs and face shields for the employees.
That's all in one too, isn't
Yeah, made by Steel.
it? Yeah, pretty cool.
You know, that's what I always wore when I went to work with my dad, because that was required. So anyways, hard hats, kind of just, you know, talked about when hard hats are required. There's a section in there regarding, seatbelt use. Talked about any piece of equipment that is equipped with ROPS, which is rollover protection. You have to have a seatbelt on. OSHA says so. You and I had this discussion. The lagoons
About the lagoon.
the lagoons were mowed the other day with no seatbelt on, yet again, after I mentioned that seatbelt has to be worn.
Alright,
So we don't have anything in writing, so,
okay.
you know, the aerial lift truck, the boom truck. Right now, we have to be very careful with us going up in that bucket, because nobody here is aerial truck certified. That is a class that I was certified at my previous job, but it does not carry over to another municipality.
So when do we go up in the bucket?
To do the banners,
The banners?
Christmas lights, tree limbs, anything that needs to be off the ground.
So Greg no, I've never seen Max in it, I've seen Greg in it, but Max doesn't like going in.
They both go in it.
Oh, do they?
We use it for.
Isn't there a rope or something to hook onto when they get in the box?
There is now. I bought a harness.
There was no thing? No, that sucks. Okay, so you got this in front of us, so we can make this so they can sign it, and we have a little packet for safety.
In my opinion.
Yep.
Okay, like I said, that's why I gave it to council.
Yep.
My opinion, I can't make the policies. We have to have something in place.
Okay.
Because we don't get second chances. Whether somebody gets hurt or OSHA comes along, we're not gonna get a second chance. If we don't have anything in writing, here's our safety policy.
Okay.
So it is my opinion that this council has to have something in place showing, you know, talking about steel-toed boots, eye protection, ear protection. And I took this from other municipalities. Okay?
Oh, I get it.
I
We
did it.
need safety pins for Max to have in each pocket, because he is somehow did it again and ran our nice painted trailer into the back of the tailgate on this truck.
I'm gonna get us a new trailer hitch that doesn't stick up that far, because that one is that adjustable hitch. So,
Whatever it did, the trailer come unhooked and went into the tailgate. So, not,
but,
alright,
so,
I want it short and 2 pages max on the safety rule there. Should be able to get.
so
2 pages.
anyways, like I said, I bought hard hats for them, because most people don't realize this, hard hats actually expire. First thing OSHA does when they show up, is they wanna see your hard hat.
You're telling me my hard hat's expired?
Yep.
How long does it last?
I think they're 3 years on the shell, and I think 1 or 2 on the suspension system. The harness, you know, I bought us a new harness because the harness that I found was all wadded up in the truck, covered in grease and oil. That's a huge no-no. So I went over the harness with Greg and Max.
Harness.
Full body harness with a lanyard that connects you to the bucket truck. Fall protection. Yep. So, I bought that a couple months ago. It was on the accounts payable. I've gotten bought, you know, 6 pairs of safety glasses, so we have extra safety glasses. That way, you know, we have earplugs, but most guys have hearing protection, earmuffs. But like I said, the stuff that I typed up, I basically just took from other municipalities, you know. That way we have something,
Do we have to have the chart up too when you walk in and says everything?
we have that.
We have that, alright, cause I have to update mine every 3 years.
We got an updated, we had a sticker I had to put on it, that's
Okay.
up.
So that's,
Yeah, we're up there.
I'm just trying to make sure that we're in compliance because we can't afford to keep taking these hits and
Nope.
get, you know, we have to get with the times.
Okay.
So that's why that's in there
so the
along
next
with,
meeting, we can have it, so we'll put on a meeting that we'll get it in here where we.
Right. And then there's just your like 45 people, that's right.
I think so, yeah, yep.
You're in type it.
It's in, Brad has it in his pocket too, in his packet. You know, the last,
It should be done,
the last paragraph seems harsh, but it goes with not having a second chance. At the end of the day, we all wanna go home, and if you're doing something stupid at work and you don't get to go home, you know, you fall off that lawnmower and it runs you over, guess what? So we're all grown adults, we aren't running this like a daycare.
Okay.
But like I said, I took it from
Yes,
basically
we
other
got it.
municipalities.
Okay, got it. Is there anything else, Ryan? I mean, we're all just, I'm very happy with doing this thing. Our water tower, did anybody reach out to you, our water tower? We do have a maintenance program with it.
We had an inspection last Friday on it.
Okay, last Friday, how's it look? Propeller's still running?
Looking good, mixer's still working. I'll get the final report, I think next week on it. I questioned a few spots of paint on the exterior that I can just see from the ground.
Good, then we should be able to touch that up back up.
Because it was just a visual inspection this time, I didn't have to drain it or anything, which was huge.
We don't, I'd like to have a second water tower. The stuff we went through to get the inside done, I don't wanna do that again, that was hard.
Yeah. Yep.
But the inside looks good, right?
Inside's looking good.
The paint coming off on the outside.
Outside, yes, yep. So that visual was done,
And our
last Friday.
SCADA's working perfect.
That SCADA system's amazing. I got a quote, just so we knew, for a gate controller, where the SCADA would control our front gate. And it would also alarm us if that gate is open.
Oh,
So I got a quote on that. I don't think I'm gonna present it to council because I wasn't happy with the price tag.
what about if we just had ring, like a motion ring? Or even, yeah, it's called ring, but we have a motion, that's what I have. They're really,
If we hook it to our SCADA system, because Fowlerville has theirs hooked to their SCADA system, if somebody had to get into that facility right now for whatever reason, I could open the gate from my phone. If somebody was trying to break in, they flip the switch on the opener, open the gate by hand, I would get an alarm saying, hey, your facility's been open. You know, I was shocked at the price, so that's why I don't have it at council. I don't think it's gonna be something that we move on this year. We can always add it, you know, but for $7,200, we can spend that money somewhere else.
well, it wasn't even that for the fence, was it?
Fence was, what, almost 16.
I'll get you some information, because I've actually got, at my house, I have a gate, and it is, I get notifications when it opens.
I mean,
closes.
we don't need it.
I think it was like $350 for the module, and that's universal, you can connect that in the gate.
Yeah, I don't need it. I was more looking at it for the remote control of the gate system,
Yeah.
our SCADA
Where did you
system.
put up ring, Josh?
Huh?
You put up, you got
Yeah.
ring?
Yeah, I mean, there's ways of doing it. I mean, I could run it through the gate manufacturer, LiftMaster. They actually have a program that they have. But like I said, I was just more curious about it through our SCADA system, just because we already have that.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not imperative, it's not a legal requirement to have the alarm system on it. If somebody wants to get in our facility, you're getting it. Locks only keep honest people light, so.
Gotcha.
But other than that, I think we're, you know, we got a lot to do.
Yep.
So,
Does any of the other council members have anything, questions for anything? Ryan Jones, me, Scott Gould? Good. Thank you for taking my calls on your personal cell phone while I'm driving down the highway. She texts me, and I haven't been called, so.
Check the specs at the gas pumps.
Josh, Rocky, you got anything to bring to it? We still okay with the Ford garage, that going pretty decent?
Josh, the industrial park sign, stone is ordered.
Okay,
So He'll get on it as soon as possible.
okay, perfect. Yeah, 'cause
Thank
Ryan,
you for,
I'm having him, he knew someone, the mason that did
Did the well house.
well house.
yes,
The business park sign is, the
It's out.
top plate stuff started crumbling, so he's got a guy that's gonna come and fix that. for
Guys,
him.
We
nice
have a
job.
welcome sign too, Josh.
Huh?
We have a welcome sign too for Reaper.
Yeah.
Hey, so the other thing that brought to my attention, the sheriff's department wants their signs for stuff out here.
Yeah, they talked about that last meeting.
Josh, Rocky, and myself, I don't know, if we ever did reach out to Mike Rowley. There you go.
I mean, that's just a thought.
I've got to take care of.
Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
Bringing his kids in with paint.
We got it.
It can be an event at a community picnic.
Right, there you go.
They did dishes the other day and cleaned up their rooms.
Dan Norton, anything you got for us?
I was wondering about Lloyd Drive. Lloyd Drive. Did you-
Well, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to put that on there. So this drive over here, this lane that we use, right by the barber shop. This barber shop is right here, Lloyd Hawk, Lloyd, Lloyd's Barber Shop's what it used to be. So this lane, this drive here.
Between behind the building here.
Yep, behind the building here, we have a sign out there that said Lloyd's, it's, I gotta say Lloyd's Drive, not Lloyd's Lane, but it can say Lloyd's Drive.
Like a street sign?
Like a street sign. So, if it's all right with the council, we can order a sign, that's actually a street sign that says Lloyd's Drive.
Lloyd's Drive.
My father-in-law was there from 69 till he passed. In the barber shop.
Because I have an account with our sign company, so, I mean, if you guys want that, I
It's
can.
just, is that okay?
Yep.
I don't think we gotta do
That just matches, it'll match the
a Scott
Spartan headphones.
or a sign.
I'll figure something out, yeah.
Nobody's against it right now.
It's a small purchase, I mean, it's probably be under $200.
Ryan Jones, can you figure out where Mystic and slam the pole and put Lloyd's? We wanna make sure we spell it right, L-L-Y-O-D-S.
OYDS, yes.
Okay, Lloyd's,
Yeah,
we're gonna put drive.
yeah, had to be driving because the other attorney said it couldn't be lane.
Couldn't be lane. Okay.
Okay.
There you go. I have a stick in my shop.
A pink stick. Put it where you want your new sign.
You have the sign.
I have the sign post is sitting on the shop floor. Greg asked me about the other day, he's like, "Did stick go out there yet?" I said, "No, Brand's a little busy."
I'll get it. Just leave it out there somewhere or something.
Drive in the ground where you want the sign, because that indicates for me to put in the Mystic of, like,
Which is
sign post,
right.
10-foot radius of the pink stake.
So do make sure I'm back with the stop sign for the
Yep.
dead end. So-
Yep,
so-
yep.
That's, I just want to make sure I was in compliance and I don't know what codes were for the signs, but.
Down there, I don't really have to worry too much about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll get it. So
Traffic
now
code.
people know it's a dead end.
Traffic code doesn't really have much on it for that low volume down there, so.
Yeah, perfect. And I'll just grab it.
Yeah, just drive the grounds with the pink sticking out. That way the locate company can find it.
And then, it's tore, that party's tore up where we drive in and out of our DPW. Their lane, so there's a couple other places,
I think we're hot patching tomorrow.
hot patch tomorrow.
I do.
But I'm actually, I need more steroids than just hot patch. I'm thinking that they actually have to cut out an 8x10 section and then put it back as blacktop.
That
So we
is-
either get like one-way paving or some other company.
My opinion, I think we wait until fall like we did last year. Put together a list over the course of the summer.
Yeah.
And then, get some estimates the way we did last year and say, okay,
Down there where Sam is, I mean, there's
Oh,
3,
that
4
whole-
wheelbarrows with a mess.
that whole dead end is.
They said
Big
2
box.
inches is wide.
On that,
It's literally 2-inch asphalt.
Yeah, well, it matches South Kramer Road, it's kind of
Oh,
in a
is it the
swamp.
same thing?
It's in a swamp, there's no base to it, so.
Go ahead,
So
John.
that there's pretty good.
For the, you mentioned the, fiber company coming in and storing properties.
Turn all, yeah, to turn everything else out of the ground, yep.
Would it be prudent to post on the village's Facebook page, asking people to, I don't know, talk to the office or send a message or something if they have a particular issue?
Call the village phone. We'll have that post that,
Okay,
to call the village phone.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
they'll send it right to me,
okay.
and then I text the project manager and he gets his guys right on it.
Yeah, because I just want to make sure that, I mean, obviously we all,
Yep.
you know, roam around the town, but I mean, I don't want to end up having someone get accidentally missed and then, you know, and then it's impossible to get them to come back.
They'll be back because we haven't did the final walkthrough yet,
Okay,
so, yeah.
okay, cool.
Yep.
We
Like I
lost
said-
internet on Grammar Road like 5 times in the last 3 days. We lost.
Yeah, they're doing a bunch of maintenance.
Maintenance.
Yeah,
There's so many different companies, I mean, guys showed up today, they were pulling fiber through the conduit, I'm like, oh, great. Luckily, they weren't drilling anything, the drilling was done. They're still getting ready to drill the full length of Grand River though, from Gramer all the way to 52.
Did anybody hear about the post office closing?
Yes, I have a letter.
Yeah,
They're
And
made
did we get people
closed
complain
for a
about
few
it?
weeks because they're redoing the floors.
Yep.
Floors.
So all the mail's going to follow it all.
As long as you are, you know, you have a mailbox, you're fine. If you have a post office box,
That's the only people that are really affected.
Yeah,
So what do we do then?
They
Or
have to
Fowlerville.
go to Fowlerville.
yeah, I wish they would have picked Williamson just because that would have been, I don't know, I feel
So
like
if
residents.
you go to
would have that
Fowlerville,
way
my
and that
name's
way.
oh, you have to.
John
You
Beatty?
go out and you.
Well, I know
Yeah.
you do, but
Yeah.
I know.
You have a post office box.
A lot of
Well,
people use it.
what if they don't have, so then they have to get on the catabus, and they'll go that way.
If you.
So if you don't have no wheels,
That's what I'm saying,
Your mail's gonna accumulate.
people that don't have transportation, I immediately.
Business
call
idea,
them and
Uber
send
for mail.
something.
Well, we actually thought about seeing, honestly, because we go we're gonna have to go every day.
Mhm.
So we actually thought about reaching out just on our Facebook page, on our business page, and just actually ask if
Somebody
any
who doesn't
residents
have-
need it picked up and dropped off, that we do it.
Dan,
I think we're closing
is
that
your
down.
mailbox,
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
you do,
know.
I'm sure
I know
you'll
how
have
it's
to
supposed
talk.
I don't know if they will go,
Verify.
because I tried to get my house and they wouldn't let me.
Yeah, you gotta have IDs with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we got everything. Right, Dan? We got everything you think?
That's, I just had a quick question about this.
We got it. That should be
Perfect.
somewhere. I
We're done.
appreciate it. I knew there was 3 things to tell you that, what day it was I called you. I'm like, we gotta have this on here, so,
Did it have
Mike
questions
Hanson.
for me?
okay. Well, at this point, do we have an adjournment?
I will make a motion to adjourn at 7:47 p.m.
Second.
Second by Lana. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Both same sign. Thank you all for coming.